Good morning, YouTubers. Today we will be learning how to cook scrambled eggs. Now these eggs earlier I brought out of the refrigerator so that they are at room temperature. You can scramble a lot of eggs, but I'm only going to scramble enough for me, so I'm going to start with a small pan. Now, when you light the fire, I'm using a gas stove. I like to use whatever fire size is appropriate for my pan. This is a small pan. I'm going to use a small fire. And I've got this at medium heat. Not too high, not too low. Always remember to have the handle of your pan pointing away from any heat surfaces and also away from any ingredients you may have. We've got some salt, some pepper, some butter is the first thing that we're going to put in. This is to oil the pan and make it so the eggs do not stick to it right away. The amount of butter you use, or you can use vegetable oil or bacon grease. That's very tasty, but it is all up to you and your personal choice. Now you don't need to use all the butter in the world. We're going to grease the pan so it has a nice film of oil over it. And now let the pan heat. One of the problems that people often have is they put the eggs in too soon. And this is not good because it does not help the eggs cook evenly. Now, one of the things I am not going to do here is I am not going to pre-scramble the eggs in a separate bowl. I'm going to crack these eggs and put them right into the pan. Now, cracking eggs is somewhat between an art and a science. I'm doing this live in one take, so we will see how things go. All right, check what your oil looks like. I'm going to let you see that the pan, the butter is starting to form little bubbles, and this shows that it's coming up to temperature. So, you are going to need a spatula. I really enjoy this silicone spatula. It is very easy to use, but many of you will have a spatula that looks something like this. So I'm going to start with this spatula to let you know it can be done. Our pan is up to temperature, so here we go with the eggs. These are, as I said, room temperature. A firm crack. You can see I barely dented it. So this is where you put your sanitized hands into the edges and pull apart with confidence. You can throw the eggshells in the trash, or you can grind them up and put them in your garden. Roses in particular love a little extra calcium in their soil, so eggshells are great for that. Second egg, same as the first. I've created a slightly messier break, but with confidence, you can still put it right into the pan. These eggs may seem as if they are turning into sunny side up eggs, but here's what you do. You will break the yolks in a gentle motion, and here is the secret to 100% perfect scrambled eggs. Do not worry about the mess. As long as the mess is contained in the pan, that's excellent. So, the eggs seem to be cooking, not too fast and not too slow. They are becoming stiff And yet you can still see, as I bring it up to the pan, I don't know if you can see that at all, there are still some sections of it that look sort of wet. That is, I mean, it's obvious to me this camera's not perfect. So, before we start anything fancy, I'm going to turn off the heat. The heat is now off. The pan continues to be hot. So, as your eggs have reached this consistency, and there will be a little left on the pan, but not too much if you've buttered it or given it the oil that it needs. Now, oh, I lost a piece. This sometimes happens. Let's rescue that little piece of egg. And this is why, let me get a fork. Fork to the rescue! Thankfully, since I have just cleaned and disinfected my oven, this is perfectly all right. The oven was clean, and I'm gonna have to do it again. Never mind! Now we bring in, to taste, a slight sprinkling of salt, a pepper grinder. If you don't have a pepper grinder, just a tiny bit of pepper is enough. And now, I'm gonna get this out of the way. We bring in our plate, which is ready. The fire is off, so this is safe to move in a little further. And transfer your perfectly scrambled eggs to the plate. Check that out, guys. You didn't need to pre-scramble the eggs. You didn't need to add milk or cream or creme fraiche or whatever it is that you think you need to do to make eggs fluffy. These are delicious just the way they are. Now, I've left a little bit of room on the plate because, to be fancy, I have previously whipped up a little bit of simple, mild taco sauce without any chunks or jalapenos in it, and mixed in a sprinkling of oregano and garlic. So, I'm going to place that on the plate as a dipping sauce. And now, to prove that these eggs are edible, we're going to use the fork, which was so useful before, and enjoy. Here we go. First, a bit of the eggs. Oh, the texture is perfect. They are not gummy. They are not rubbery. And neither are they too soft. They're the perfect amount of eggitude. And here I've got a little bit of the sauce. I like to make things a little spicier. Okay, I highly recommend this. This is going on all the eggs. And while I finish these, I would just like to leave you with this final thought, that eggs are not needed to be fertilized in order to be laid. Chickens will lay eggs whether or not they are fertilized. All right? So you don't need to worry about your eggs, if you leave them out, hatching and turning into chicks, or if that's what you're looking for. It's not going to happen. Unless they're farm raised, sometimes they are fertilized, but then they are instantly refrigerated, which means that no chick can grow. They need warmth. So eggs are a very nice protein. Most people have them in the house. I'm going to now rinse this under running water so the egg does not get stuck to the pan. But as you can see, it's not much of a mess. We got most of the eggs, and that, I think, is a successful meal. Let me know in the comments if you would have done anything differently. and tell me what you would like to cook next. Bye-bye.